Hello, peace and joy, guys. We are going to look into Moby Dick, the movie released in 1956, directed by John Huston. I just want to remind you this is not about the novel, but more about the movie that we are going to look into. So let us see what we'll get in this video. Yeah, this is it. This is the content of this presentation. We will find something about John Huston, the director. Then we will think about Herman Melville, who wrote the novel Moby Dick, on which this movie is based. And then we'll go into the movie directly. We will listen to the story of the movie. Actually, John Huston has not made much changes from the novel, but then to present a novel as a movie, we need to make some changes. We will look into that and we will go through the story as it is in the movie rather than as it is in the novel. Then next we have the cast and crew of the movie. So here we will go and see who were the actors, who wrote the screen script, and so on and so forth. And then we will go in detail about the characters in this story. Yes, precisely in the story, more than who acted, about the characters who are there in the story. Then we will listen to some of the stories, anecdotes behind the production of the movie, what they went through, how they did this and that scene and all sorts. That is an interesting part. And then we will go into the key points of the movie, like themes, symbols, and some important scenes. Yeah, by that, I think we will have enough and more knowledge about this movie. So with this content list, you would be knowing that we will not be able to finish it in one 14-minute session. So I would rather like to say that this would be a series of videos rather than one video. So let us begin. Okay, first we will be saying about the iconoclastic director, John Huston. We will see who he was and how he worked and all these things. Okay, to begin with, I got this from an interview. He said, in that interview, he just told that I'm fascinated by the medium of films. It seems to me that films are closer to the thought process than even writing, even letters. I really enjoyed viewing this interview. And believe me, I don't have any copyright of any of the materials that I am producing here. But I believe that these people won't mind because I have put all the links where of whichever sites I referred in the description box. So you too can go and refer. And not only that, they have uploaded all these things there in YouTube and in internet long back, and this is helping us now. I've just collected material that would be helpful for us. So this is what he told in that interview. I'm fascinated by the medium of films. It seems to me that films are closer to the thought process than even writing, even letters. I think this is what motivated John Huston to direct a lot of movies. And he continues to say that, the succession of pictures is flows in a well-made film as one's thought flows. So when we see a John Huston movie, it is like what we would think or what we would imagine things to be when we read a novel. It is like, it is like what he says in that interview. He says, I have always thought the camera was behind one's eyes and one's own eye projected on the screen what one wished to see. All right, this is about what he thinks and he says about the movie. Let us get to know more about him. Okay, this is John Huston, and this is how he looked when he was in 1972. By then, he was a very successful director in the Hollywood, and he was successful for more than 45 years. That was the span of his career as a director. He was born in 1906, August 5th, and he left us in 1987. August 28. Okay. He is an American film director, screenwriter, actor, and visual artist. Amazing to know that his father and his daughter were also in this film field. Then Heston was a citizen of United States by birth, but renounced US citizenship to become an Irish citizen and resident in 1964. There is a there is a lot of story behind that also, but I don't think we will be discussing about that right now, right here. Okay. He wrote the screenplays for most of the 37 feature films he directed, many of which are today considered classics. In another slide, we will be seeing some of his most famous movies. Yeah, he was an iconoclastic Hollywood director for over 45 years. I told that before. He has been referred to as a titan, as a rebel, and a Renaissance man in the Hollywood film industry. He won Oscar twice. Okay, and then I would also like to include that he received Oscar nominations 15 times. Walter Houston, he is his father, and Angelica Houston, um, she is his John Huston's daughter. Okay, so in this slide we have some of his. I put 8 of his movies that are considered best among the best. His All his movies were best, and these are best among the best. I have put posters of these movies here. You can see them. This is the Maltese Falcon, and yeah, this Maltese Falcon was released in 1941. It was his directorial debut, and what is said about this movie is that despite its small budget, it became a commercial and critical success. Okay, and these are his other movies, and all of it, as I told you, was the best of the best. And throughout his career, he explored the visual aspects of his films. He used to sketch each scene on paper beforehand. So that is to say that maybe there was a comic strip kind of script before he directed the movies. He had the frames set beforehand, so it would be very easy. Most of the directors during his time used to first shoot it and then edit and make into the film. But for him, editing would be less because he already had how each frame should be in his mind and on his paper, so he could just show and he could do it. Some of his movies were adaptations of important novels. For example, what we are going to know about what we are going to learn now, Moby Dick, it is also an important novel. And most of the time, he chose novels which depicted heroic quest, just like Moby Dick. Yeah, that is what I have to say about John Huston. Now we will go and learn a little bit about Herman Melville. Herman Melville was a legendary author, and this is Herman Melville, and this is an oil painting of Melville done by this particular person, and he lived between 1819 and 1891. He is known as the writer, an American writer in the American Renaissance period. He was a novelist, short story writer, and poet. And believe me, when I looked into his biography, in his lifetime, he thought that he was a failure. Actually, that is what happens to most of the writers, directors, or poets in during their lifetime. Nobody recognizes their value. But then later on, people, posthumously, they get a lot of honor. I don't know, maybe his soul would be knowing, his soul would be realizing that he has become famous now, which he didn't get to taste when he was alive. Yeah, but his best known works are Moby Dick, which was published in 1851, then Taipei in 1846. And both these novels are romanticized account of his experiences in Polynesia. And then we also have a novel. No, it's not a novel. You can say it would be a screenplay or something like that. Actually, Billy Budd Sailor was something he prepared just before his death. He had revised and revised, and he had left papers, and his wife took the initiative of, collecting those papers and giving it to publishers. And it is after a long time after his death that this came out as a novella. And many people also thought it would be good to make it as a drama or something like that. So as I told you, his glory came to be after his death. And Moby Dick grew to be considered one of the greatest American novels. All right, we will go next to the movie Moby Dick directly, but then you will have to wait for my next video for this thing. Thank you. I hope you liked this presentation.